Hey YouTube, it's Doyle's DVDs, and I am your host, Wheelchair21, aka Doyle. Uh, Today's Doyle's DVDs is part of the two-pack set of the Bardock, the father of Goku, and the history of Trunks. Today's special is, more or less, Bardock, the father of Goku. This was originally aired in Japan as a TV movie, and a lot of people in America misconceive it as an actual movie. So, that's one thing that a lot of fans seem to not know, not diehard fans know, is that this is a TV movie. It was only 45 minutes long, and it's not like the usual, I would believe, 60-minute movies, 60, 70-minute movies that are usually aired, like Lord Slug, Cooler's Revenge, which is one of my top Doyle's DVDs at this moment. One of my most top. Excuse me. And this was a TV movie alongside History of Trunks, which would come out later on. These movies somehow don't parallel to the actual story conceived by Toriyama, as in, there are some minor differences to the storyline that he conceived before these TV specials were aired to show the background stories for such Bardock and Trunks. The movie itself takes place back during right before, about 12 years before Dragon Ball really kicks off. And it mostly starts off about a planet a planet of people that are able to see the future of their own demise when the Saiyans arrive to destroy it. Bardock and his team defeat the whole planet, killing them all, and the next day one of the people that are still surviving takes an attack on Bardock, unlocking in his nervous systems the ability to foresee the future, which his alien race that are now extinct were able to perceive. So Bardock could also foresee the end of the Saiyan race. Bardock in this movie is conceived to be the main protagonist, and originally an antagonist as an evil Saiyan turned good due to the fact of the future he foresaw. At the same time, it shows a little bit about Prince Vegeta himself, being that he is one of the strongest Saiyans ever known, and that if he was able to unite an army of the most powerful Saiyans, could have overthrown Frieza back then, most likely. Even, or at least in his teenage years, he could have possibly, if more of the Saiyan race survived. The movie itself totally knocks out the fact that Raditz is not born, or at least doesn't acknowledge Raditz, but goes on about how Bardock should have maybe checked out on his son before they transport him off to a faraway planet. Bardock is badly injured and should be healed, while his team is sent off by Frieza to be killed, since Frieza sees that Bardock is a high candidate to become a future Super Saiyan. At the same time, Bardock then races out to try to save his team from the attack of Dodoria's henchmen, but it fails. He then is sent back to Earth, not to Earth, but sent back to Planet Vegeta to try to warn them of the oncoming attack. On the way back to Vegeta, he sees Goku getting sent off to planet Earth. Bardock gets back. They think he's delusional, insane, because his team just was wiped out. He himself is barely surviving and barely alive on his own, and Bardock is forced to face Frieza on his own. As Frieza's ship comes to destroy planet Vegeta, all of Frieza's henchmen leave the ship and attack Bardock. Bardock originally was conceived to have had his own army to face Frieza, but in this version it's a standalone complex where he himself defeats, or at least tries to defeat, Frieza and his whole army on his own. Frieza then comes out and uses a supernova death ball and destroys the whole planet, leading to credits of showing Goku's rise to a hero. The whole time, though, most of Bardock's future visions are clips from actually the previous seasons that have already aired, such as Goku vs. Vegeta, scenes from Dragon Ball, and several others. And Bardock is wondering at first, what time is this, where am I, and why is my son good-hearted, being a defender, not a destroyer. And yet he discovers through this that it's better to be a hero than a villain, and to save than destroy. As the phone rings in the background. I don't really give a damn. Someone better pick it up soon. Okay, it was picked up. Okay, but anyway, it's a good a story of morals, of sacrifice, of hardship, and the story of a lost race of people. which also ties into the Cooler's Revenge movie. Like I said, go check that video out. Top views because of this. Yeah, this is technically a sequel to Cooler's Revenge and the whole Frieza series. It's a great movie. I enjoy it. I love the Funimation soundtrack more than I love the actual Japanese soundtrack because this includes Saliva's Superstar and a few other bands, and it makes the movie really what it is. Rock music and DBZ goes well together. And the fact that this movie is about the story of Goku's past and how his father was a great Saiyan warrior really brings more to the story of what Goku was brought to become, made to become, and foreshadowed as, because I believe this was aired right before Goku turned Super Saiyan, or right after, so it was to work parallel to the actual storyline that was already airing on television. Like I said, the differences about this are the fact that in the original episodes when they first showed Bardock, it was his own Saiyan army versus Frieza. But then it's been rewritten as Bardock versus the world, practically. And that was one of the key differences. Also, a few other things are Bardock's features originally drawn by Toriyama, or the original guy who conceived Bardock's features for Toriyama, made him to be much different. His armor was to be different, but Toriyama liked the idea and then just slightly altered it, giving you the looks that he has in the movie with the scar and the scratch and the battle damage. Other than that, I would say see this movie whenever you can, because a true DBZ fan watches Bardock, the father of Goku. And I am out, YouTube, and I will see you later with the history of Trunks. Bye.